In Uptown Charlotte at the Hilton, we welcome you, and for those that are watching online, this is the start of day 2 of the 2025 ACC Football Kickoff. A lot of good energy in the room and excitement as we welcome in Florida State. To get us started today, head coach Mike Norvell will offer his opening comments. Then afterwards, we will take questions from the room. So coach, the podium is yours.
Thanks so much. Well, it's great to be here today. You obviously, with Media Day, comes just one day closer to the kickoff to this season, and all things that are ahead. And so proud of our football team for the work that they poured in throughout this off season, from the winter program to spring practice. Going through our tour of duty, the summer workouts, and coming up to report next Tuesday, and back on the practice field 1 week from today. And they've done a remarkable job in the investment into each other, into pushing to hit and to reestablish that championship mentality and expectation that we have here at Florida State, and to uphold the standard of what it is to be a Seminole. And we've got 4 remarkable young men that are here with me today that have done a wonderful job throughout this off season of being great leaders, of being the willingness to be the example of what we want it to look like on a daily basis, and excited for the expectation for all things that are ahead this season. As we've gone into this off season, it has been about bringing that daily edge, that desperation to go win on a daily basis. And in everything that we do, from whether it is in the weight room, whether it was on the field, meeting room, in the classroom, we wanted that sense of competition. And we wanted every day, right, to see guys that are willing to rise to the challenge to be their best. And this football team has done it. Whatever we put in front of them, right, whether it was academically coming off our spring semester, we had the best team GPA ever in program history. Right, they answered the call when it came to what we wanted them to do academically. Whether it was in the weight room or tour of duty, we challenged them at new levels. Right, that it was probably some of the hardest workouts that we've ever had. Right, and to see those guys embrace that with literally with a smile on their face, knowing there was an opportunity to compete, to go get better. To see the newcomers, the guys that have been a part of the program, to see them all work together. Right, to be able to set the foundation for what this football team's going to be, because all that we have is this season that's ahead. Right, and when you look through the past few years, we've accomplished some great things. We've experienced the highest of highs, and we've also found ourselves in a valley. We faced some disappointments, right? But every part of it has come back to our response. And this team and this season that's ahead, I've got great expectations, got a lot of confidence because I've watched the work, because I've seen the investment. Right, I'm really proud and grateful for the coaches and the new leaders that we have within our coaching staff. Being able to have two of the best coordinators in college football, a couple of the best football minds that this game has. And Coach Malzahn and Coach White have done a wonderful job pouring into our players. Being able to establish a foundation throughout the course of the spring, and be able to build concepts and a plan in place that are built for the great playmakers that we have. And so we're excited for all things that are ahead. It's an exciting time in Tallahassee. We got a great kickoff here August 30th with Alabama coming into town, and this football team, it is hungry. Right, it is bringing that daily edge in all things that we're doing, and there's a lot of wonderful things around our program. We have a newly renovated Doak Campbell Stadium, which we're so excited to be able to be at full capacity. All right, our football only facility that we'll be moving into here this fall. I do want to take a moment just to thank our administration. Starting with President McCullough, his leadership, his vision, his continued push, to our AD Michael Alford, to our board of trustees. We have an incredible group. Our chairman of the board, Peter Collins, and the work that they have pushed to continue to elevate our program in this new day of college athletics. I'm just so grateful for the support that we have and the investments that have been made from all of our boosters and everything that we're doing. And there are great days ahead here in Tallahassee and with this Florida State football program, and just excited to get back on that field here this next week and everything that's in front of us.
For those in the room, we'll ask once again that with a question, if you'll identify yourselves and the agency that you're with. And Coach, we already know a couple of folks that are going to have their hands up in the air. So far left, first row.
Terry Spain with Sports Media. Coach, the enthusiasm that you had in your voice, I got excited. I almost laced up my helmet and went and played for you. But how excited are you, even though you didn't have the season that you projected, that you would like to have had last year, how excited are you about this team? And what should the fans be excited about from this football team?
I'm extremely excited. I'm excited because of the characteristics that I've seen from this team. From the newcomers that have joined, from all the players that have returned, because every one of them said yes to the expectation. And you don't come to Florida State unless you're willing to embrace the greatest of expectations, because there is a standard. And every day that standard has to show up. And as we've sat there and coming off a year that was a disappointing season, we had some real conversations. And ultimately it wasn't for everybody, right? The sacrifice, right? The investment, the work, the challenge, right? The confidence that had to be developed, right? Because every team and every player that stands in front of you is going to tell you how confident they are. Right? But for that confidence to be real, it has to be earned. There has to be the work. There has to be the truest belief of being able to embrace that in all things that makes up who you are. And that's what gives me excitement for this year. Because I've watched a football team of guys that have said yes. And they're not just saying it with their voice, they're saying it with their action. And we've got some wonderfully talented players. But even with all of them, none of them have hit their final stage. All of them are continued growth in progress, and they're embracing that journey. They're embracing the opportunity, and to see them come together, to see that excitement within the position groups, the side of ball, and then collectively as a football team, and just to see how much they enjoy who they're getting to do it with, and that gets me fired up. And all of it sounds good. Now we get to go get it done on the field, but I got a tremendous amount of confidence because of that work.
Coach, right side, second row. We'll have one or two questions right there.
Hey, Coach, Mike Norvell. This is Michael from PlantTheSpear.com. Congratulations on another season. I just want to ask you, you talk often about the climb, and that's been the mantra of Florida State football since you've been the head coach there. And it may have seemed like as you were recruiting and getting players in, you had a certain kind of a mentality that you were looking for in players. And you talked about the desperation that they always had, and you always recruited to that. Did it feel last year that maybe that was the missing element to the team, was that desperation, that sense of we refuse to lose? And what gives you the confidence that you have that mentality this season?
Well, you talk about the climb, and we all have a desired destination. Everybody wants to get to the top, right? And we've seen that. A couple of years ago, we got to lift the trophy. Most people talk about it. We've seen it. We know what that looks like, right? But on the flip side of it, when you're climbing a mountain, there might be some times where you slip and where you stumble. But the most important step along the journey is the next one. And people that are willing, that regardless of circumstance, regardless of what you find yourself in, that you're willing to take the step to go be your best, to put everything that you have in, right? And I don't want a team full of sidekicks. Right? I want guys that are willing to grasp it, to hold it, to push it, to step forward, and to go be it. Right? And that's what's needed. And that's what I believe that I'm seeing within this football team. That's what once again, we start fall camp next Wednesday. Right? And I want them to be pissed off to go be their best every single day. Right? It's not about last year. It's not about anything that they've done up to this point in their career. It's about this season, with each day and every step that's in front of us, to go put it on display for what you want to be. Don't talk about it. Let's go do it. Right? And I feel the confidence within the team because, once again, I see their work. Right? I believe in who they are. I believe in the journeys that they've had. And no player on our team has had a seamless, perfect journey. There's been ups and downs for every one of them. But when they come, and whether it was a recruiting process, whether it was the opportunity to come back and to be a part of what this team's going to be, I wanted guys that were on the edge of their seat, ready to go attack that work. And I can't wait to fall camp, because I'm going to challenge them every single day and everything to do, mentally, physically, relationally, all parts of it, because that's what the season's going to hold. Right? And as we've seen that at an elite level, right? We also know we know how hard it is. to win a game, to win a play, to win a rep, to obviously for what it takes for a season. But I believe in the group of guys that we've had that have come together, right? And and in today's age of college athletics, everybody has a choice because it's easy to leave, right? It's hard to stay, and it's hard to say yes when you know the expectations that are going to be put in front of you. And when you come to Florida State, well, you better embrace the highest of expectations, because what I have, it's what our program has. There is a standard of what it needs to look like. And I've got to uphold it, and so does everybody else a part of our team. Players, coaches, every single one of us. But I believe in what it's going to be, and I'm excited to get back on that practice field as we build and as we continue to climb to August 30th for our first opportunity to go put on display what this team has the potential to be.
Coach, we'll stay right there. His colleague to the right.
Coach Jesse Koger, PlantandSpear.com. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. So I want to ask you about Gus Malzahn. You bring him in as offensive coordinator. He's a guy that's got a ton of experience as a play caller. Obviously, he's been a coordinator on a national championship team, led a team to a national championship game as well. Can you talk about what that experience at that high level does for the program, and was that something that you really sought after whenever you kind of shuffled the coaching staff?
Well, I mean, it was, having the opportunity to have Coach Malzahn come and be a part of our staff was it was special. And it's somebody I've got a 20-year relationship with. All the respect in the world for the man, just the coach. I mean, he's somebody that infuses confidence in anybody around him because he knows what he wants to do. He knows what he wants it to look like. But it's the belief that he's able to pour into others, for what it takes on that journey. And you talk about the perspective. He does. He's been a very successful head football coach. The last time he was an offensive coordinator, he did win a national championship. And to make the choice and decision he made to come to Florida State, I mean that is the purpose. That is the reason. And we have an opportunity here to really do something special. And I think that his focus is there on the offensive side of the ball, and he's one of the best that have ever done it. But he also brings perspective as a big picture to continue to challenge every element within the organization, just to push to be the best, to be able to accomplish and do some of the things that he's been able to do on his journey, and what we all aspire to be.
Thank you.
Coach, we're going to see if we can squeeze in one last question in the next 2 minutes. We're going to go right up here, front row to the right.
You trying to put a time limit on my answer?
No, sir, not at all.
I can give a long answer too.
Hey, Coach Mike, it's Chris Heidel from Hermson Radio in Baltimore. Just talk about you personally as a coach this year, because you have all these great coaches around you to help you to get better and get back to where Florida State was 2 years ago. Just talk about having them in the room, and you have new ears to help you get everything ready to go.
For us, as we all go through this, this career as players, coaches, everybody involved, it's who you get to do it with. That's what makes the journey special. And I've been blessed throughout my coaching career to be around a lot of wonderful coaches. And I believe that this is a special staff. And to be able to pour into them, to be able to help support them, to challenge them, for them to do the same for each other and for myself. I mean, it does make a great dynamic. It's one that I don't take for granted. And every day that I come to work, I mean, I want to be able to provide that, and I want to be able to receive that. And so that's where for me, as I reflect and I see, hey, with where things are within college football, with where things are within our team, our program, it's one of the elements of this season I'm really excited about. Because I'm not sitting in just one side of the ball or to have one focus as much as what I have in the past. I get to continue to invest into them. I've had probably more one-on-one conversations with our players than any point of going into my 10th season of being a head coach, and that's what I do it for. I want to see these guys go fulfill all that I know that they can be. And the challenges that are out there for a student athlete right now is greater than it's ever been. Yeah, there's great rewards when it comes to that, but it's also unbelievable dynamics that they have to work through, and to be able to meet them where they are, to be able to continue to push them, to continue to help them understand all that they can be, more than just a jersey number, more than just a position, what the teammate that they can be for this program, and for the guys that get to do it with it. That's what makes the journey worth it. And so I am grateful for the coaches that I'm getting to be a part of. I'm excited about some of the flexibility of what I get to do in my job on a day-to-day basis, and you obviously just be able to pour in and invest in the wonderful players I get to coach.
Coach, the timing was absolutely perfect, so thank you. If you'll switch places with Tommy, we'll